The common perception is that the girlfriend of a married man is a tricky, conniving, luring person who's at the core of what's wrong with the situation. That she has reeled and seduced this married man into her trap. The common perception about the woman who stays married to a man after he has cheated on her is that she's weak, she's a loser, and maybe deserves what she's getting. That unless she leaves him, she must not be redeemed as valid and strong. The common perception also is that the wife and the girlfriend, or the woman her husband is cheating with, are enemies and they must hate each other. I have come across cases of ongoing and repeated infidelities where after years of painful confusions, the girlfriends and the wives ended up getting together and exchanging their stories in an effort to wrap their head around the craziness of what they were experiencing. The unique perspectives they have discovered as they exchange notes reveal aspects of these dynamics that all of us must become aware of and learn from, so that we can start to move away from these default thinking patterns. After you hear all this, comment below to tell me what you think. I'm Sanya Bari. I am an infidelity specialist, a therapist, and a coach. Keeping the confidentiality of everyone involved in mind, I will highlight the common themes of what these women discovered. Because even though we don't like to admit it, infidelity is rampant in our culture. And misunderstandings around infidelity encourage it to keep happening. The experiences of these women are truly unique and eye-opening and will give clarity to anyone who's baffled by what goes on in the underworld of infidelity. I have made 4 short videos to describe what these women shared. Don't make a judgment till you've watched all 4, and subscribe to this channel so you can get notified when the next one is released. So, the women discovered that the man in their trio was telling them what they wanted to hear. As an example, in one case, the man told the wife that the girlfriend was not marriage material because she was not smart or refined enough, that she just wanted gifts and fought all the time. He knew that his wife would want to hear all this, and this profile of the girlfriend would satisfy the wife and deem this girl a non-threat or somehow below her. The other effect this had on the wife is that she quickly took note to make sure that she is smarter, more refined, and that she doesn't ask for gifts or be money focused. She took note to try her best to not fight with him, even when she probably should have objected. She didn't object. She was so pleased by this negative description of the girlfriend that, like a good little girl, she fell in line and went out of her way, overdoing for her husband, taking on more responsibilities of the kids than she should have, to make his experience of being at home as heavenly as possible, even putting out in the bedroom to accommodate all his whims. Now, he told the girlfriend that his wife was bipolar, that she made his life miserable and was never there for him emotionally and sexually, that they don't even sleep in the same room together, that it was hell living with her, and she didn't take care of his needs at all in the places in his life that are important to him. The girlfriend felt bad for him, as if he was a bird with a broken wing, and set off to mend him, putting her needs aside and making sure that even if she's upset, to tone her reactions of anger down. God forbid she appears bipolar like his wife. She would go out of her way for him, putting up with limited time slots that he'd give her to meet. She took care of his emotional needs, becoming his regular therapist, and gave in to his sexual needs without regard for herself. She would put up with his excuses of why he can't actually treat her according to the way he says he feels about her. He would just have to tell her how bad his wife is, and then she would end up thinking that with a wife like that, he's obviously going to leave her eventually. Who can live in such abuse for long? Not knowing that he was lying about it all and actually had a very comfortable life at home. These negative explanations had an important twofold effect. One, it quieted the women down and made them feel like he's in with them while he's putting the other one down. It somehow made the women feel superior to the other, at least temporarily, at least if they followed his criteria of what good behavior is. It fed the esteem of women who were feeling low about themselves because of their unconfirmed relationship status with him. But this superior badge came at the price of their own authenticity, freedom of thought, feelings, and behaviors. It turned each of these women into robotic creatures catering to make this man happy in the name of love, with the desire for the safety of their own hearts, thinking that if they could just prove their value to this man, that he'd finally make things right according to his promises to them. If I can be sexy enough, smart enough, pretty enough, competent enough, patient enough, maybe he'll see what a great match we are for each other. You'd think that this craziness probably lasted for a year or so. I have news for you. In one case, this man was able to fool these women for about 12 years. In another case, the man was able to fool for 17 years. And yet another case, the woman had multiple children with him, and the girlfriend agreed to have a secret family with him. There was another case where the public profile of the woman was so high that she discovered the affair in the most dramatic and embarrassing fashion. But in all situations, these women were just done with being fooled and realized that the secrecy is keeping this dynamic going and is hurting them. Now, I want to be very clear. I'm not at all encouraging people to do this. Every situation is different, and these women had personalities and motivations in mind that were different. This kind of meeting can turn bad depending on the individuals involved. My purpose for this message is to provide a perspective, a point of view that's different from what we all default to. It seemed like it was a privilege to take care of this man. How did this happen? When did the tables turn? How did these women go from being chased by him to chasing him instead? Subscribe to the channel to ensure you get the next video in this series that talks about how this dynamic just becomes stronger and stronger and impossible to come out of. I really want to hear your unique perspective on this. If you have any questions, email me, sanya@sanyabari.com. I'll look out for your questions or comments. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you for watching. Love and light from my heart to yours.